everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tuber. Welcome back. It is your 9th The Rookie Season 7 episode review. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe out there in the big old world. We officially hit the halfway mark of the season. We're already here. I am very surprised to be here. Because again, it wasn't that long ago. We were just beginning Season 7. And here we are at the halfway mark. It's already March. I feel old. I really do. But yeah, with that being said, yeah, no, welcome back. I do apologize for the delay. We had some things happen in the back end, but now we're trying to rectify the ship. And I kind of knew, like, I didn't want to push the rookie too far out because, like, I know we already left off on a big with the mid-season finale last time. So I definitely knew, okay, I'm going to try and make it all work. I got Rookie, I got Matlock, and I got Reacher on the docket within a very tight 24-hour window. So we'll see how that goes for me. But with this week's episode, now that we're back, I can safely say that I thought it was a really great episode. I really, really did. I think this pushed an emotional limit with certain characters this episode. It still kind of, it focused more on what was needed instead of, like, tackling on things that we didn't really need. And, obviously last episode we kind of, like, left off on a couple things. This is kind of more like we were just kind of, slowing into, like, now into getting properly the second half of the season. And I feel like this, for some reason, this feels like, this is still part 2 of the mid-season finale. And then when we come back next time, it will be the proper mid-season premiere. As certain storylines, I believe, have come to a close, kind of. That's just in my retrospective opinion. Obviously trying to branch off some new ones. And I think it works to the benefit of the show. Again, always, the writers and the characters and the actors have always done their absolute best to make sure that the story's on point, and it very much is. Where after last week's very thrilling finale, mid-season finale, well, not last week, 2 weeks ago, and now this week being more akin to, like, okay, yeah, now we're kind of, really picking up where we left off, and I feel like it made it for a really great episode, and the emotional core of it really, it stood out above all the rest, and I will give them utmost credit for this one. It's one of my favorites of the season so far. It definitely introduces some. It really introduced some layers that I haven't seen in a while, because again, like, we've had a very stagnant season 6 in terms of, like, we couldn't do that much. We couldn't push the bar too much. We were very limited on what we were able to do. And now here we are in 7 where, like, we can actually start to, like, kind of push some of these characters again. And I feel like that worked in the benefit of the, for the actual episode. And I was very happy with the end product. I wasn't spoiled on Twitter. There was a certain moment where I felt like I took it out of context. And I'm just like, oh shit, are they actually going to do it? And we'll talk more about that in a second. I'm just like, I was very surprised at how it all ended out. And I think it maybe it's just the fanatic in me. Like, I just kind of want to see something really crucial happen. And I don't think I think that's the one thing the show hasn't really done that much in a while, where, like, I think the last time we got that was, like, in season 4, I believe, but you know what I'm talking about. But with all that being said, let's go for the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So we begin right where we left off last time. Selena just watched James and the girl that he kissed bleeding on the sidewalk, obviously with gunshots penetrating their bodies. James seems to be somewhat cognizant, somewhat alive. The other woman, not so much. So Selena goes to rush to her. She calls it in. Well, she immediately calls Gray in to let her know the situation. And he's like, ah, shit. We just finished one fire. Now we're in another one. I'm like, great. This is just wonderful. So he immediately heads into the woman's locker room where Harper and Lopez are just getting ready to, like, Harper's about to go on a very long vacation, ready to kind of take a break from Mid-Wilshire, ready to kind of, like, tap out, kind of, take a little bit of some time away. However, sadly, Gray comes in and tells her the news that it's James. And immediately we're just like, oh no. This is not good. You never start that, especially with Harper. You never start a statement like that. You never do. We come back to the hospital where Chen and Bradford have just finished up their fresh air treatment. They still have a tiny bag to carry with them, but so they're still recovering. But they're able to go home. However, sadly, they're kind of derailed when James is being wheeled into the ER with, of course, Bradford and Chen kind of, stun shocked of, like, what the hell just happened. And as they're trying to revive him, resuscitate, everyone else starts showing up. Harper, Lopez, eventually Nolan and Gray. as everyone's converging onto the scene, as immediately Harper goes straight to James, comforting him. It's really bad. It's like, you know, the thing is the bullets are so lodged into him, so it's very much like a make or break type of situation. So they only got a limited amount of time, so they pull him away to surgery. As everyone just kind of watches, and Chen comforts Harper. And again, like as of right now, you know, everyone's just like, especially with Nolan knowing to the fact that he kissed Kylie, the girl that he was with, out of context. So yeah, it's a very dire moment for everyone right now about it. I want to say from here, where do we go from here? I'm trying to remember. Did we immediately just go to the wait? Yeah, I think we go to the waiting room where we get the first scene of many. Harper's being consulted by I think it was Wesley, I believe. Was it Wesley or was it no? I know eventually there was like a meeting between the four of them, between Lopez, Gray, Nolan, and Wesley. I just forgot exactly what order it came in, whether or not what exactly came from. I forgot exactly. I know there was a scene with Harper with one of them. I forgot the way when it was just more like comforting, more like it's gonna take some time, but we're gonna power through this. We will power through this. And that's when the four of them convene in a nearby room where they speak brass taxes about this. Like, yeah, so they're trying to come up with a motive, like, why would they shoot down James? And then obviously Wesley has to interject saying, like, well, we know that there was a moment between James and the girl that also got shot. There was a kissing moment that no one witnessed, so that is a possibility. Obviously Lopez is pissed right now considering the fact that you're telling me this information now, of all places. And the other fact is I can't say anything to Harper because she's the lead investigator. And on the same time period, you kept this from me for 3 hours. And I'm just like, well, there was really no way to like bring it up at any point. Like, again, there was a huge firestorm happening right now in LA. So that was the least of their worries right now. So yes, everyone's convening elsewhere to kind of continue the case. Lopez is tackling it head on. Wesley's handling it from the legal aspect, and Gray and Nolan going to be handling Harper's personal investigation, considering the fact that most times than not, the spouses are involved with the attempted murder or murder of their partner. So they're, and considering of her connections and everything, she's the first to look at. So they're going to look into things and, you know, get that squared away. Gray telling her the news, I guess, sadly, because this was a murder attempt, that, you know, because you are his spouse, you will be looked upon. Harper's like 100% agreed. I'm ready to sign off on anything, whatever you need to do to kind of get through this case. I'm game. So like that was at least nice to get the blessing out of that one. In the meantime, Bradford and Chen re-suit back up. I'm not sure where they even got their digs from. They were like, well, Bradford's still fine. He just got a nice clean off. But yeah, so they're ready to go, ready to get back on the streets to look for the shooter. That's the utmost priority right now with the LAPD, right now, to go find this guy and bring him in. So yeah, so they head off from out there. Nolan going around the bend to meet up with Bailey, who's also there, just checking in on things with Harper. Seeing if there's anything she could do. However, sadly, Bailey does begin to pass out from dehydration because of the fact she's been working, I want to say, almost the entire day without rest. I forgot the timeline of things, I really did, but like, let's just say it's been a very long day for her. She had no chance for a water break. So thankfully, she's attached to an IV bag, ready to get hydrated. Selena shows up, ready to relieve Nolan, as Nolan has to go with Gray to actually begin the Harper's investigation into this possible conspiracy. So yeah, they go out from there, and Selena and Bailey talk about just how the last few hours went, where, you know, Juarez does kind of hold a little bit of accountability in herself for, like, what if I had gone to James first? If James goes, then like I'm gonna be technically partly responsible for, like, if I had gone to him first because I knew him. But like, again, she made the right assessment. Like, it's not about your personal connection. It's about who is the person that is in the most critical condition that needs the most help. So Juarez made the right call there. Is just sadly, you know, happens to circumstance that she happens to know Harper. She happens to know James like that. So it's very difficult for her to kind of, you know, process this whole thing right now. I believe we cut back to Chen and Bradford. They're very much in the loop. They're kind of playing a little of a balancing act where, like, yeah, they kind of admit to each other they're kind of still in a thing, but like Chen wants to take her sergeant's exam to get out of the Bradford's chain of custody. So maybe there could be maybe something. Who knows? They're conversing, bringing up the season 4 scene where like they're in season 4, season 5. I think it was season 4. Yeah, season 4 where they're dancing and or no, was it season 6? Was it season 6? I forgot. But they're bringing up old memories. However, sadly, they do get a lead on the shooter. They immediately engage. They find him right away. They go into a very tense car chase. However, sadly, eventually at a round bend, he does get away by hitting a pedestrian, which prevents Bradford and Chen from ignoring them because they have to take care of the civilian who, you know, her knee is busted. It's like, you know, she's already got we're eventually going to know she has a lot of medical issues. So like this happening right now is literally the worst possibility. This is literally going to be like worst case scenario for her right now. But they're more focused on her right now than getting that shooter at the moment. Gray and Nolan begin searching their house. This is around the same time where Chen calls it in that like, yeah, they did have visuals on the shooter, but he got away. And thankfully, Gray, being the understanding person he is, understands that and kind of, you know, just relieves it for now. Just like, okay, that's good. We'll continue. They're continuing to search upon the house, Harper and James's house, which Nolan kind of does feel bad about since, again, he's their friend. And, you know, it kind of feels like an invasion of privacy, even though that, yeah, Harper signed off on it. It's still very much like, here, you're kind of doing something dirty. Eventually, they look through some of the files, and they find a photo that James took, which had a picture of an individual known to Mid-Wilshire as to being an anti-police arson. So he goes really, really too far with certain ploys against the LAPD. So this is and also the date that James writes on it is just literally a few weeks ago, which I'm just like, okay. So now once again, we're officially in 2025. Let alone we were just in 2022 not too long ago. So timeline-wise, in the words of the Doctor Who, every episode review, timey-wimey stuff. So I give up on this. So that, again, this kind of adds more fuel to the fire. Where like, if they have an anti-police person on staff, Harper has a connection to them, James has a connection to them. Like, it just opens a whole can of worms. That is unnecessary, but sadly, because of where things are at right now, it does not really voice well for Harper right now with her matter of the case. I know Bailey eventually rocks solo for a bit while Juarez goes to do something else. And when she is alone, two kids across from her starts kind of trying to like lightly flirt with her a little bit. I say lightly because they're just trying to make themselves look cool and everything. And Bailey's just like kind of like nodding like, okay, sure. However, eventually she walks away from them. However, she notices some interesting stuff from them because the blood pressure from them, the other guy seems to be in an excruciating amount of pain. And then the other thing is that they claim to have been, you know, part of a fire, but however their injuries are more consistent with acid of the drug making it variant. So that's very much of a key issue that has to be addressed with this point to be specifically. So she converses those feelings to Juarez, and Juarez is like, okay, so it could be possible that they're drug makers, that they're probably in the middle of a cook, and that, you know, the fire kind of, you know, something must have happened. The fire makes a good excuse that, like, okay, they could pass along their injuries as part of the related to the fire. Most of the medical professions are probably already busy trying to like figure out what the fuck's going on. They're probably not even gonna notice. So very much that is on the top of their agenda, right? With that being said, I believe from there, I want to say we're gonna get to where do we go from here? So yeah, so Juarez decided to embark on her first solo case as a P2 without Nolan. So that's gonna be fun. Then we cut back over to the Mid-Wilshire station where Nolan starting to go through some things about the photo and everything. However, Greg gets interrupted by Wesley and his DA's competition, who apparently Wesley, being a little bit too close in this case, can't really pursue forward, so she got her hands on the case, and she's very much gun-ho of like, yeah, I'm gonna see what's really going on here, because like, you know, you just got off a corruption scandal, now this could potentially be the case. I'm like, I don't know, like, it's something to be a note. So my yeah, definitely she's trying to gun for that, and especially like trying to like broach the line of like Harper's real innocence level right now with the whole matter of things. Yeah, so from there, I want to say we get back over to, where do we go back over to? I want to say, where are we now with the story? Yeah, Nolan comes back in. He apparently looks at the photo again, and he was looking at the other two individuals where they are people of concern as well. And I know there's a link they eventually find, because like, apparently Mid-Wilshire just got had their vehicles burned down recently, and they never managed to really ID the people, so they eventually just kind of, you know, cold dead ended. So definitely there could be something here related to how these fires even started in the first place. So we'll cut back to that a little bit later. Trent and Bradford are ready to get back on the field. However, they run into the daughter of the woman that just got hit by the driver, and you know, she's just, you know, she's already like, I just need to be with her. I just need to be with her. Just, you know, can I just go see her? And so she heads up there. They leave her alone. They start to head back down, and then another person comes in and says like, "Oh, I'm her daughter," and it's like, "Oh, your sister's already upstairs." She's like, "Oh, that ain't my sister. I'm an only child." So they head upstairs. Apparently, this is the aide that kind of got fed up with the clientele of her, of the person she's caring for. She decided, well, you know what? If this woman dies today, I'm taking her stuff. I'm taking what's rightfully mine for all the punishment I got over the years from her. And Bradford and Shannon like, nope, not gonna happen. We're gonna take neutral possession of the items and call it a day. Neither of you are getting nothing right now related to this woman. Shame on you guys. Shame on you. So I believe from there, I want to say we cut over to, where do we cut over to? I'm completely blanking right now on it. Crud. Sorry. I'll go work as I'm working my brain right now. I think we just got to the next scene where like Harper is in the family room waiting for news on James, and then the attorney that Gray just got meted by earlier comes in, already immediately asking a lot of questions about like just the circumstances of everything, you know, bringing up the evidence that's come to light about the photo and then the kiss, and then she uses that against Harper to disarm her. And I'm like, that is like, of all the people that Harper needs to get this information from, it's just, this was not it, and this was not it. And also just shout out, this was one of those many moments in this episode where Mia Cox, Harper's actress, does a phenomenal job with perform. I think this is one of her best performing episodes yet of the show so far. So kudos to her on that. As you know, Gray has to interject and step in to kind of diffuse it, and obviously he's like, "What are you doing? Like, you know, do you not have a code of conduct? Do you literally just like break everything that the peaceful police standards guide for?" She's like, "I know what I did, but I did nothing illegal. All I did was just let Officer Harper about these now public facts that, like, you know, I just wanted to see what her reaction would be. That's all." So sadly, however, Gray can't do anything more about that. He goes to Harper. Well, not really goes to her. He looks at her from the distance, kind of realizing that, shit, I'm in the middle of this investigation against her. I don't really have much of a leeway to kind of get in there right now. So he kind of has to step back while Harper kind of has to stay in solitary alone. Now kind of dealing with the fact that, like, at least to a certain angle, James did cheat on her. Like, there is a possibility that this may run deeper, but she doesn't know any facts right now. She's kind of stuck in that place of mind. Like, she's thinking of every single possibility. And trust me, I've been there before in life. So I could definitely feel for her for that moment. I want to say eventually Nolan, I know there was one more outdoor scene, I forgot what it was, but I do eventually know that Nolan does make a connection with someone that could be related to whatever's going on right now with the arson. So yeah, they do look him up. It does match the videos of the car burning, so definitely they managed to strategically get him in a situation that he cannot ignore, i.e. by pretending his dad is nearly about to die, which I'm just like, that's amazing. That's really, I mean, it works. Is it fair? No, but if it doesn't work, it definitely does work. So they managed to get the dude together, to get the information that they require from him to put an end to that little snippet. I know Juarez eventually makes her first kind of solo case a success. She does manage to prove that these two were not part of the regular fire. They were part of a drug fire. And they're going to go away for a while. And it turns out that they're not drug makers per se. They did go into a drug lab and they stole merchandise, which was bags of drugs, like the little, like, you know, plastic bags, like really tiny, that the guy ingested. And I'm just like, oh no. My dude, you're about to have a long time in the toilet. Let's just say that much. And it turns out the other guy does it too. So Juarez had to page over to get more pills because, yeah, this bathroom's plumbing is about to get demolished in just a matter of hours, basically speaking. Then from there, I want to say we get a moment with Wesley and Harper, where, you know, obviously immediately Harper just goes straight for the bullet, like, did you know that James was cheating on me? Like, I know, I understand you two are best friends, and I'm just like, okay, no. Okay, like, yes, they've known each other for a while. They've known each other for more than a few seasons, and obviously their wives are best friends, so it's kind of customary that either we got to be bros or we got to be friends ourselves. And which I'm just like, yeah, no, these two are always around each other whenever their wives are around, so I kind of understand why they kind of had to become friends. But do I imagine that being best friend material? I'm like, oh no, Harper, maybe you're kind of shooting for the moon here a little bit. But Wesley does deny it. He's like, no, he has never once told me about Kylie like that. He always has remained loyal to you, despite, you know, you have your moments of disagreements, that it doesn't take away the fact that James does love you, and that he's never going to betray it like that. Which, again, it is true. We obviously, us as the viewers, we know the context of things, but like, obviously for the actual characters, they don't know shit right now. So it's like, very much sorry for Harper. Like, you know, even Wesley's swerve doesn't really provide her comfort, since, like, you know, there's still that very unexplained factor right now, playing in her head on loop right now. Yeah, from there, I'm gonna say we cut back over to, they have information about where the location is after they got the shooter got away. So Nolan, Chen, and Bradford hit up the set of a movie studio, or a TV studio, a production studio, where apparently his cousin's working at. So he's hiding out on a set that's on hiatus. So the head inside, it's kind of weird to see, you know, it feels a little bit more bigger, the world, but I'm just like, this seems like a random I'm pretty sure they're using their own, like, existing backlog for this episode, so it kind of, like, saves a little money on production. So they head in there, they find the individual. He does, like, a cool, like, window breaking jump moment. So he starts running away from them, trying to get the jump on them, jumping through different TV sets. Eventually, Nolan manages to shoot him in the arm, continuing to, like, bring pace to him until Bradford kind of corrals and manages to bring the shooter to justice, so that, okay, now we can officially rule this out, like, rule out Harper once and for all, at least on that front. I think it's around this time where, yeah, Harper gets the official word that, yes, James is all right. He finished his surgeries. It's going to be a very difficult recovery, but he might pull through. She goes in, as any supportive spouse, to comfort him, kind of let him know, I'm here for you. She doesn't want to talk about the kiss right now, but James is like, no, we need to talk about it now. You know about it. It makes no sense for you to keep hiding it into yourself when we're in the middle of this moment. So they discuss it, where he admits, like, yeah, okay, look, I know she was in trouble. I tried maintaining a level of support to make her know that, like, hey, you are not alone. If you need help, I am right here. And she misunderstood that. They kissed, and he pulled away, obviously, but that's the part that Nolan missed. So, in retrospect, James, like, has to apologize to her, like, you know, even like, I think we're in the middle of this entire situation because of that, which I'm like, James, you are not even close. But again, you know, it's very noble for you and very chivalrous for you to admit that. It's not every day. We get that. I think from there, I don't believe we get another scene. I know eventually, no, that's basically it. No, I think everyone just, like, reconvenes back at the hospital or mid-Wilshire after they catch the guy, and they exonerate Harper 100% speaking, where I know, oh yeah, there was a moment I forgot to mention where, like, Lopez does crack down on one of the people that I think he was the one that actually got the location on the shooter, if I can recall correctly. I must have skipped that scene. I apologize. But at least it's over. Gray has a final talk with the attorney, like, hey, look, Harper's clear. She's innocent. There's no case for you here. She's like, oh, no, but that's great. Like, you know, we were on the same team here. I'm like, motherfucker, you were just trying to take down this station. I mean, yeah, of course. It went for 2 corruption scandals in the time span of less than 5 years. But I'm like, who really is counting here? Who really is counting? But, yeah, so at least that crisis is averted, but however, Wesley's still kind of, you know, very hesitant on the upcoming DA elections, if she wins or not. Like, how's that going to look like for the city? But for Gray, she's like, not even going to worry about that, right? That's for my mom. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go rest. Wesley's just saying, can I sleep on your couch tonight? And Wesley's just like, Gray's like, no, not going to happen. No, you go deal with your wife right now. You're going to be sleeping in the doghouse tonight for what you did. Which Wesley's like, okay, time to go face the music. Nolan is about to clock out for the night, going over to the hospital to go get Bailey up. He asks Gray if he could deliver the news herself that she is officially exonerated, ready to go back to work. he said, sure, go do that. Bradford and Chen do have another cute moment together where, you know, obviously it's another coy by Bradford trying to kind of solo invite Chen right now to something, but Chen's like, no, I'm gonna go get some dinner and go and visit the girl that got shot with James, because it feels like while everyone is focused on James and Harper right now, no one's really focused on her. So at least to, you know, kind of, you know, be there right now for her. So, which I mean, it's very sweet. It's actually very sweet. And I believe one of the many reasons that Bradford deep down loves her very much so. So yeah, so from there, I'm going to say, where do we go from here? Yeah, so like, yeah, that was another cute moment. I want to say like everything else is wrapped up. I know Nolan and Juarez have another moment about just the case and everything, and, you know, just like how things went today. And, you know, Juarez, not even a couple days into her P2 training, she's like, her P2 time, and she's like, yeah, I already got a case by myself, the best P2 ever for the station. And Nolan's just like, yeah, no, that wasn't a fact that I stated. I just, you know, you're implying that, you're taking out of context. But anyway, so then Nolan heads off to the hospital. She sees Harper in the hospital room. James got pulled away for x-rays as Nolan's just like letting her know, like, no, the case is over, everything's done. He also uses this opportunity to apologize to her for like keeping the secret in for the last X amount of hours. That, you know, that wasn't fair to her. Like, he should have told her at some earlier point. It just was very difficult to kind of, you know, interject that during an entire firestorm. And Harper understands that, she really did, and she does let him know, like, yeah, no, James and her talked about it, and, like, you know, he said it meant nothing. It was a accidental moment on her side, and that he apologizes deeply, which she does believe. But Nolan just reiterates to her that, like, yeah, you know what, for anything, if you need anything, I will be there. And they hug, which I just feel like it's very much of a 360 moment, not 360, a complete journey moment. Because again, you know, having just seen season 2 and season 3 not too long ago, just when we first saw them, they were very much polar opposites, not even wanting to do anything with the other. And the fact is, like, if you were to tell season 2 Harper she would one day hug John Nolan willingly, she would probably throw a gun at you, because she wouldn't believe that. But it did. And I feel like it's one of those unspoken payoffs that I don't think we needed. I don't think, because, like, we don't see Nolan and Harper interact that much nowadays, because, like, you know, Harper's doing her thing, Nolan's doing his thing. They don't really coincide too much of the time. So, like, seeing this is like, it's very sweet. It's very sweet of them to, like, kind of, you know, to see that work out between them. Even Nolan going off to pick up Bailey, who was trying to exonerate her independence of just like, I can walk by myself. I don't need assistance. Nolan wheels her away, and Bailey just kind of, you know, comments on her involvement on the drug bust, and like she should get some sort of accommodation from the police on it. And Nolan's just like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. And that was it for this week's episode of The Rookie. I thought it was great. I think the standout, obviously, is going to be Harper. Mia Cox delivers. I feel like this is, I think, one of her best episodes in the entire show. 6 seasons, and, you know, she's still killing it. It very much is. Pushing her into, like, her absolute limits. I feel like this is the first, one of the rare times, like, it's been a very emotional season for Harper. Like, having that personal vendetta with Glasser, now this is just... She's been through a lot, and, you know, I'm perfectly capable of saying, like, if we take a break with her character right now, if we just, like, let her just be secondary fodder and, like, you know, helping out everyone else now, I would totally understand that. She's done a lot. She's been through enough. Let her rest. Like, she's done an amazing job, really. This being more of a follow-up to the ending last week, I think that was fine. I don't think we really need to deal with more of the Ridley stuff, kind of shoot back into Penn. We didn't really need any of that, which I think works out better, because, like, you know, there's still kind of... We still got the Ridley thing to deal with down the road. Penn is still kind of, you know, having to earn his place right now in the group. So, very much is going to take a little bit more extra time to really get comfortable with them on that. So, smart decision not to include them there. Bailey getting a nice, like, fun subplot with Selena. It's very sweet, very much is. That never really ceases to amaze me on that, of just how amusing that could be. And then, yeah, just, you know, with everything else going on, I think every other character delivered it, you know, just kind of having to mitigate the lie between friend, ally, and also, you know, being unbiased. So very much everyone was kind of on edge this week, and I feel like everyone had a moment to shine in this episode. And I think, you know, it just kind of proves to worth, like, you know, that they know what they're doing. The story writers know what they're doing, and they're crafting a story that is going to be enriching to all. Let's just say that much. And I think that this is one of those episodes where like we see the prime example of it. Like this is for me the best episode, one of the best episodes of season 7 so far, and I can't wait to see where we come back to in the second half. But for the time being, I'm giving this episode 2 thumbs up. Let me know down below what you think of this week's episode of The Rookie. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. We'd love to have a conversation with you about it. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So everyone, this has been What's the 2 from ActionX. We're reviewing every episode in the 7th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing normally, What's the 2 beside our Rookie episode reviews. Right now, we are doing Matlock episode reviews each and every Thursday nights after brand new episodes on CBS. We're doing Reacher episode reviews each and every Fridays after brand new episodes on Thursdays on Amazon Prime. We're also doing Suits LA episode reviews each and every Sunday nights after brand new episodes on NBC. But if you only care about The Rookie, if you only care about The Rookie, you're in luck. We'll be back next week with another brand new episode review for you. So stay tuned until then. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, like, favorite, share if you want to. Ring that bell and follow us on social media. But until we see each other again, thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.